Ladies and gents, nobody cares what you think. Nobody.
Shut up and sing, or shut up and act, or shut up and make us laugh every now and then.
The problem with Hollywood, tons of really talented people there, brilliant at making movies.
Right.
But the second you feel a political imperative, it destroys your art.
What I always respected about Taylor Swift is that she would stay away from politics.
So all of a sudden these elitists are becoming our leaders as if they know everything, and they don't. So we have to put that in perspective and realize that these are athletes, these are entertainers, and look at them as entertainers and nothing more. They're not experts in anything else but dribbling and singing and running a football.
I think what President Trump did here is so great. It's exactly what needed to happen. A separation of the church and the state between the celebrities and the White House, especially on the backs of Barack Obama, who was honoring these celebrities and making them feel that they were better than the American people.
The political musings of uninformed celebrities, frankly, isn't of much interest to me at all.
What we're really seeing is a window into the narcissistic, egotistical mind that is the celebrity brain. They actually think that they deserve more honor and more respect and more dignity than our veterans and our troops, and they're unwilling to work with this administration simply because they have a complex. They have a God complex.
And on Saturday, Kanye West praised Owens on Twitter, and he wrote this, quote, "I love the way Candace Owens thinks."
Kanye West is just the first person that's brave enough to come out swinging against them and saying that he has a right to think according to how he would like to.
And what I love about Kanye West is he has been blazing this trail, saying it's okay to think freely, it's okay to oppose the status quo, and in fact, what makes America the greatest country in the history of the world is free thinking.
I watched Kanye West. I was so happy that he did that.
You got Kanye West. I don't care what people think. People don't think. I like him more than now that I know he liked Trump. That's why they literally grabbed him and threw him for a week in a mental institution when he started tweeting that he liked Trump.
Believe it or not, Kanye West said some genuinely interesting things this afternoon.
And who would have thought that a bad boy like Kim Kardashian's husband could be the catalyst for an honest discussion about the coerced conformity of thought that the celebrity culture has imposed on all of us?
What happens when a masked producer and a headphone-wearing comic book artist get together to talk music shit, comic book shit, and political shit on the internet? Monty. Hannibal the Beat Animal. Hannibal and Monty Shit Show! Holy shit! My name gets to be in the title this time. Hannibal and Monty Shit Show.
Why is my name second? What kind of shit is this?
Hannibal and Monty Shit Show. Let's talk some shit.
Get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
Welcome to Hannibal and Monty Shit Show. I am Hannibal the Beat Animal.
And I am Monty.
And today is episode 2. Maybe an episode about...
Oh, and we're not syncing up. The audio's not coming. It's on its way. It's on its way. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Now you're in the sunken place.
There we go.
There we go.
Yo, just FYI, you guys, you know you're not live on YouTube though, right?
We actually are live on YouTube, not on that page for some reason. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
We got the boxes mixed up. I'm in the Nate box, and Nate's in the Hannibal box.
I mean, this is a shit show after all. But don't worry about it. It'll be fixed soon. Let's just keep rolling.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a team of trained monkeys on it right now. They're solving our problem.
And you know what? Trained monkeys are the best monkeys to have. Because I had some untrained monkeys, and all they do is eat your fingers. So fuck them.
Yeah. I've been working for about 2 months training these monkeys to do this. So they know what they're doing. They're good at their jobs.
Yeah.
These monkeys are good. But anyway, this is the shit show. We're back for episode 2, which we're kind of 3 episodes in. but not really, because one episode we did twice because the first one was a train wreck instead of a shit show. I prefer shit shows here. So, but this is episode 2, The Sunken Place, and normally we'd have a intro from Scientist Mel in the beginning. Scientist Mel couldn't get it to us this week. Good luck. Hope everything's working out for you. We'll see her next week.
We hope everything works out for Scientist Mel. She got some stuff she got to take care of, but we always, love and support her. So we don't send her best wishes.
Yeah, and aside from that, we're gonna keep this moving. I'll check in with Mel after the show, make sure she's okay. And
I see you fixed it. Now Hannibal's in the Hannibal box and Nate's in the Nate box. So please tell the people we have a guest today. So shout out to the Hannibal and Monty Shit Show on our second show, having a guest. Like, how presumptuous and audacious are we to have a guest on our second show for the dozens and dozens of fans that we have watching?
Yes, we don't fuck around. We don't fuck around. Nate's an awesome dude too, so he was an easy choice as a guest. And Nate is well, why don't we let Nate say who he is? I don't speak for you. You got your own voice, dude. Who are you?
Yo, thank you. I am a black man trapped in the motherfucking. I'm just joking. No. Well, let me let the people know who I am. My name is Nate. I'm a cat from Harlem, born and raised, and I like to just give people my background. So full disclosure, I'm the son of 2 crackheads. My mom was a crackhead, my pops was a crackhead. And that's just how it was for, when I was growing up. I grew up in the 90s when the crack epidemic was real. That's talking about, we were talking about walking over dead bodies in the streets type shit up here in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Freeway Rick Ross type shit.
Yeah.
So I grew up in, I grew up in the hood, and I did it all, from, to keep it real. I sold drugs. I, ran with crews, the whole joint. And then, one day, after mom and pop left, I moved in with grandma. It's just the story of a typical black man in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Living with grandma because mom and pops is broken home, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So after that, I just, I went to, Job Corps and did a couple of things. I dropped out of high school. So I was like in a real serious trouble. So then, I got to a place called Job Corps, did a whole bunch of stuff. Eventually, I got like 3 degrees, so now I'm an attorney, practicing attorney over here. And so that's what I do. So, I got my YouTube channel where I talk shit, celebrate my life. I got 2 kids and a wife. The wife was looking for me tonight, but I told her I had to do the show. So, after this, I'm going, try to produce a porn movie with her. It'll be all good, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's me in a nutshell. I fucking just gave my whole life story in 5 minutes, but that's kind of how I do, because I talk.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Also, Nate Brody is also 1/3 of one of our favorite shows,
The 3 Black Heathens.
There it is.
That's right.
Yes.
And you guys actually did a very similar show about the same, some of the same stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight. So I'm really looking forward to doing this show, because then we're gonna have everybody, we get to have a very poignant discussion, about the Sunken Place and whether or not, Brother Kane, and Monty said this earlier, he said, whether or not Kane deserves to be in the Sunken Place, because I don't know where Kanye is right now. So his name is Kane.
This is Kane. And look, but before we get into that, going along with what Nate said about talking shit, you're in the right place to talk some shit. And also, ever since we thought about bringing this show back, and for those of you that are new, go check out Monty and the Mongoose's little show. If you get on Google and you'll find it, you'll see what we do. But when we started talking about bringing this show back, I was like, I know for sure I want to get Nate and Drag on a show. Drag, I don't know what show he's going to be on, but that's coming soon. I got to find the right topic to get him on. But I knew for sure I wanted you 2 on a show. So thank you for joining us today. This is going to be awesome.
Nah, man, thanks for having me.
And shout out to Drag and the Emperor Atheist. I've actually known Emperor Atheist for a very, very, very long time. And he's always been a huge supporter of my music.
and all of my different entertainment ventures. So shout out to that guy, and shout out to the Mongoose. You know what I'm saying? Because we love him like a brother. We could not have done this show.
Yes. And look, we are gonna get the Mongoose to do something on this show. So Mongoose, I know you're probably watching, and I haven't called you in a while. I'm calling you tomorrow if you're watching tonight. So, but Mongoose, we're gonna get you to do something. We miss you. No R.I.P. Mongoose.
I think we should get him to do some cold reads.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we're gonna get Mongoose to do cold reads. If you don't know what cold reads is, Nate, go check out our old shit. You'll find cold reads with the Mongoose. It's hilarious.
Cold read was dope because we would basically have like this white guy read rap lyrics. That the songs that he's never heard before, and just read the bars like he's reading it like it's poetry, man. It's fucking awesome.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
The more ratchet the song is. So
Cold Reads is coming back. But
we can definitely.
Yeah. So that's what that is. And anybody watching the Three Black Heathens show, whether you like religious debate aside, whatever your thoughts are on all that, Three Black Heathens, go check them out. They welcome discussion. It's a great place to sit down and have a discussion, and you're not ridiculed for your opinion unless you're a fucking troll. Don't go there and be a fucking troll.
Oh my God, Jesus is Lord. We gotta be talking to Jesus is Lord. Just shout to him right there. Shot fired.
Yes. Oh, that dude's name got mentioned on the little show. Actually, one of my ideas that I pitched to Hannibal with him since we brought him up was instead of picking you, I was like, let me see if I can get him to agree to come on our show. And since it's a Sunken Place, I was like, why don't we make him the last person we put in the Sunken Place and not give him a chance to defend after he's been on the whole show?
Well, every time he talks, we just have the teacup stirring, and then whenever he gets loud, we just make the teacup spin and sound louder.
Yes,
yes. It just drowns him out.
Oh, and speaking of the teacup sound, I got some awesome shit coming, playing along with the Get Out theme. But and I didn't mention it at the beginning. I want to lay out all this right now before we start rolling into whatever's next. But feel free to leave us a voicemail. Send a voicemail in. We got a voicemail number. It's 262-686-7448. You can send it while the show's live. I'll get a notification. We'll play your voicemail on the show. And also, also look for us on Facebook, facebook.com/Hannibal and Monty. And if you donate to the Streamlabs link, which is not below anymore because a shit show happened in the description. I'll tell you what it is, streamlabs.com/Hannibal and Monty show. If you donate there, your donation will pop up on the show and we'll read it. The next thing says I'm supposed to introduce Nate, so we already did. So Nate and Hannibal, y'all ready to talk some shit?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what we're here for.
All right. So we kind of went a little out of order, but that's okay. I wasn't prepared. I got my sheet and I was all ready, but it all fell apart. So I don't know. I'm trying to catch it while I'm doing this. Hannibal, handle my lightweight while I figure this shit out.
Today's show is going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about a couple people, and we're going to be deciding unilaterally if these people deserve a place, deserve a spot in the Sunken Place. I don't want to be the guy who be like, hell yes on everybody, but we're gonna have a conversation. We got some videos. It's gonna be a very interesting. Obviously Kanye West. I almost feel like Kanye West must have knew that we were doing this show and was like, "Oh, okay, y'all doing the show about the Sunken Place," and then he went and had a meeting with Trump just so we could have content for this episode because we had already decided on making this episode the Sunken Place, and then it was like Kanye did what he did. It was like, oh man, he is just great for blogs right now. Blogs and vlogs and podcasts.
I thought you said it sounded like you said he's great for blondes.
I mean, he might be good for blondes too. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. He might be.
Well, Kanye's winning because he banging Kim, so he's already winning.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But he did say in that song, he was like, what did he say? He said something along the lines of like, what you know about wanting to fuck your sisters-in-laws? Because I got told them I want to fuck.
Look,
this nigga here is
speaking of, did y'all see Snoop Dogg? Like, I don't know what I missed, but somewhere there's some rumor floating around that Drake was hooking up with Kim, and she was the inspiration to
Kiki.
Yes. Did y'all hear about that? I don't know how true it is. I didn't look deeper into it. I only saw Snoop Dogg's reaction, which was hilarious.
Yes. Snoop went at him, which was kind of crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, Snoop right now is definitely feeling some type of way about Kanye West.
But he never liked Kanye though. Let's keep it real. He never liked Kanye.
He didn't. But we're gonna get into Kanye. I think right now we need to check our voicemail. So let's see what we got in our let's see what we got in our voicemail.
Let's see what we got.
All right. So here we go. Let's see what's going on. Any minute. There we go.
Thank you for calling the Hannibal and Monty Shit Show Customer Service Assistance Helpline and Complaint Resolution Center. If you're calling because you have some shit on your mind, some shit in your heart, if you just stepped in some shit, got yourself into some deep shit, or if some shit just hit the fan, please leave a message at the sound of the fart noise. Si necesita instrucciones en inglés, marque uno. If you're calling because Monty forgot some important shit, or because you were offended by what was eating Hannibal, please hang up.
All right, and our first message happens to be L. Damon with the Wrestling Minute. So let's see what we're working with here. And forgive the old Flying Zombies tags. Don't go to flyingzombies.com. It doesn't exist anymore. Flying Zombies is coming back, though. It's coming back. So, and I'll tell that story later. But let's roll into it. Trust me, it's gonna be awesome.
Flying Zombie presents the Wrestling Minute, brought to you by L. Damon.
Las cucarachas entran, pero no pueden salir. L. Damon!
Hey guys, time for another Wrestling Minute. So we have upcoming the WWE Evolution pay-per-view, which is an all-women's wrestling pay-per-view. More or less payback for them not being able to wrestle at any of the shows in Saudi Arabia because, well, it's Saudi Arabia and they don't want women wrestling there. Honestly, for me, I don't see why they don't want women wrestling there because, well, everyone in the roster looks perfectly fine and all the wrestling is actually getting better and better, except for the Bella Twins. We got a problem here, guys. The Bellas are just not as good wrestlers as even they used to be before. Especially Brie, and that's not really anything against Brie. She went and had a baby. She was kind of more or less retired. She's picking stuff up from Daniel Bryan. That's great. It's awesome, but she just doesn't look as, I don't know how to say it, doesn't look as smooth as she used to. And she's had a couple of bad mistakes that could have really seriously hurt people, herself included, and knocking out poor Liv Morgan. So you have that. And then, of course, you're going to have Nikki, who, let's be honest here, no one really wants to see Nikki Bella win matches anymore, so they're just going to feed her to Ronda Rousey. There is no way in heaven, hell, or any place else that Ronda Rousey is not walking out of that pay-per-view with that belt. It doesn't make sense. Then you have the extra stuff on there. Unfortunately, it looks like Alexa Bliss got injured at some point, and because of her taking a break, the singles match they wanted to originally do with her and Mickie James, not her and Mickie James, it became her and Mickie James.
Come on, L. Damon.
Her and Trish Stratus ended up becoming Alexa Bliss and Mickie James versus Trish Stratus and Lita. On paper, that could be a good match. Really haven't seen Lita or Trish Stratus wrestle in a long time. But also, I'm kind of just hoping all three of them turn on Alexa Bliss and beat the crap out of her, because Alexa Bliss is really good at selling being hurt. She's really good at it. And also, any excuse I can have to say her ass is amazing. I would watch her ass like a Saturday morning cartoon show. Amazing.
Okay, well, that was L. Damon with the Wrestling Minute. Nate, if you don't know who L. Damon is, L. Damon was a part of the Little Show who would leave us voicemails every week and update us on what was going on with wrestling. So he still continues to call that same voicemail number. We don't know where the fuck L. Damon is, but he keeps calling. So we keep playing him.
That's a fan. That's a fan right there.
Yeah. So
did you guys know that the word fan is actually short for fanatic?
Yeah.
No, I didn't realize it until you said it just now.
yeah.
So that was our L. Damon. Our next voicemail comes from our attorney, Daniel Silver, the gold standard. But I already listened to it earlier. I have to tell you the text I sent because I like to quiz Daniel Silver on different things, just to find out what's going on. But what did I say? Where is it? I said, here's a text I sent to him. If Hannibal were to hypothetically break into David Clark's house and replace all of his cowboy hats with masks, would that be illegal? Technically, he's just replacing items with other items of equal value, and in some cases, greater value. Also, how can we go about getting Hannibal out of jail? We might have a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I'm actually all ears on this. I mean, so I was all ears before, but I really want to know the answer to this.
Yes. So here's our attorney, Daniel Silver, the gold standard.
Hey, Monty. Hey, Hannibal. It's Daniel Silver, the gold standard. Just returning your phone call about that. What's that guy's name? That David Clark question. Like, first off, why would Hannibal be breaking into anyone's home? And
good point.
Yeah, even if he swapped out David Clark's medals or something or hats for Hannibal's mask, it's still breaking and entering, man. That's still illegal. And also, you're taking his stuff without permission. That's still theft. Doesn't matter how nice the stuff he's replacing it with is. And also, if Hannibal's back in jail, that's not something we should be discussing over voicemail, because you're probably going to air it on your YouTube thing or something. So give me a call back. We'll set up an appointment to discuss it in private. All right. Yeah, we'll talk later. Bye.
All right. There's Daniel Silver's advice. So
okay. All right. I just how illegal is it though? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah. He didn't let us know, but we got Nate Brody here. How illegal is it?
Well, well, see, I just want to make sure, because I always got to say this shit before I start talking law shit. I got to say this is not legal advice, because I'm gonna be the one motherfucker who beat this shit and be like, "Yo, Nate Brody said it on his fucking YouTube channel, and he's giving me legal advice. And I'm taking it to the girl." So this is not fucking legal advice. If you need legal advice, don't look at this shit. I'm going to tell you my. I happen to be a lawyer, but this is my opinion on this shit that we just talking about right now.
Yes, and let me add something to that. We're about to talk about some shit that this show has never really gotten into. Going along with what Nate Brody said, don't get legal advice from this or anything. Don't live your life by anything said in this entire show.
Nah.
Form your own fucking opinions. We're full of shit.
Do your own research, you know what I'm saying? Form your own opinion, you know what I'm saying? And let's talk about it, you know?
And when you form your own opinion, come get in that middle spot, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Amen to that. But now, back to the legal advice that is not legal advice.
Yes.
So listen, I'm just going to keep it real. As soon as you breaking into somebody's house, you're breaking into it. In New York State, they call that burglary. That's a felony. So, the fact you ain't now if you going inside there to take some shit, that's definitely burglary. So I would say that.
But he's taking shit and replacing it with other shit.
Think about this. Think about me going to the bank, taking all the money out the motherfucker and replacing it with shit.
All right.
It's still robbing the bank.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would say this. If you're breaking in anybody's house, especially a cop's house, which serves David Clark is, you in some serious don't do that shit.
All right.
That's good advice.
Hannibal, Plan C. Plan C.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Look, watch. Plan C.
Gotcha.
All right. All right. Two lawyers are two. Not advice. Neither one of us gave us legal advice, but
No, of course not.
Plan C. Plan C. All right.
Right.
All right.
Gotcha.
The next voicemail we got is from an old little show favorite, Keith, the man on the street.
Keith, the man on the street.
Yes. And Nate, if you've never, if you haven't listened to our show, don't feel bad. I'm not putting you on the spot. You probably haven't, but we're kind of a big deal to people that have heard us. You like how I sharpen that so that
I like it.
But the little show, Keith, the man on the street, was a regular occurrence, and it's good to hear from him again. I put a Facebook thing up asking opinions on Kanye West, and I got surprised by a voicemail from Keith, the man on the street. Here we go.
Hey, before the
wait, but what is it?
No, I was gonna say before you play it, this video it's coming up as unlisted because I sent the link to a couple of people to come watch, but it's coming up unlisted. Yeah.
Yeah. I just changed it as we were talking.
All right, so it's changed. All
Very
right,
good.
Hannibal's on the shit. Send it again. Tell him to check it out.
All right, I'm sending it again.
All right, awesome. All right, here we go. Thanks. Yeah, let us know that shit when you see it. This is a shit show, by the way. Here it comes.
Hey, this is Keith, the man on the street. I just heard you guys' first show. Let me just say, it was fucking terrible. You guys should fucking quit. Seriously. Like, if you are going to stay on the show, you should rename the show to Hannibal and Monty's Shit Show, because that's what it is. It's a fucking... Yeah, fucking perfect. Fucking perfect. It's already called that. You don't have to change the name of the show because your terrible show is already called the Shit Show. My phone call alone has raised the bar of your show tenfold. So, go back to the reason I called. You guys wanted some comments about Kanye. Let me tell you something. First off, fuck Kanye. Fuck Kanye. Fuck him. Fucking Kanye. Oh, look at me. I'm an actor. I'm on Saturday Night Live. I'm the longest running cast member of Saturday Night Live ever. You know what? You're not funny. You're not a good actor. The best Kanye ever was back in the 90s with All That and Good Burger. And honestly, he should have just done what any good Nickelodeon child star does. He should have followed the lead of his co-star Kel and gone into obscurity with grace. Like, who has even heard from Kel since 1997? He might be dead. We don't know. Nobody knows. All right? So, fuck that. Wait, what? No, I'm talking about Kanye. No, Kanye and Kel. No. Kanye. No. Oh, that's Keenan. Who the fuck is Kanye? Kanye Kardashian? That's who we're talking about? That's who we're talking about? We're talking about Kanye Kardashian? Why are we talking about Kanye Kardashian? You know what? I don't have time for this bullshit. I have more important things to do, like nothing.
All right. And that was Keith, the man on the street.
You know, in the intro video, I thought it was interesting. Like the very last clip was Laura Ingraham said, "Who'd have thought a bad boy like Kim Kardashian's husband?"
Yes.
Would. And then she said some other shit, and I was like, that shit was low key disrespectful as fuck. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like it was very meticulous and very strategically placed.
That was Laura Ingraham low key disrespectful as fuck. Like that's like her talking about diversity disrespectful as fuck. Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So who would have thought a bad boy like Kim Kardashian's husband? It's like, whoa, slow down, bitch. All right, wait a minute. Hold on. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't all that bad either.
Yeah.
First off, he's a genius. He's a voice of a generation, and he's a gay fish. All right.
All right. And here's our last voicemail, the shortest of all of them. This is a random one that came in just randomly last night while I was going through my stuff. So
I like randomness.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Here we go. It's about to play.
Yeah, while I'm at it, I do have something to say about Kanye West. Kanye or Yay or Yizzy or Yeezy or whatever the fuck he's calling himself these days. I have to agree with our former true president, Obama, on this one and agree and say he is a fucking jackass.
All right.
Right.
Yo, you get a lot of people calling this fucking line right now. I'm about to leave a voicemail myself and shit.
Nate, you should leave us voicemails every week. They will get played on the show, and you can even put cheap plugs in. We'll play that shit too.
Speaking of cheap plugs, I got one that I want to do. One of my homies, and he's a blogger and a vlogger in New Orleans. Vitamin Q. He's one of the most entertaining personalities. You know what I'm saying? I love his subversive ass point of view. You know what I'm saying? He's Team Libra, like myself. My birthday's in like 3-4 days, yo. You know, so
happy early birthday.
You know what I'm saying? But if you get a chance, go to his blog site. It's called www.vitaminq.com, and he's always talking some subversive, crazy shit that just has me falling out laughing. He just constantly is kicking the beehive, just pissing bitches.
He kicks the beehive
on a regular basis. This motherfucker is beef sting proof. Okay.
Wow. Look, I told you earlier on the phone, like yesterday, 2 things you don't piss off: the IRS and the beehive.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with
that. Yeah. But his site is www.vitaminq.com. It's literally spelled phonetically, like the word vitamin and the letter Q. Vitaminq.com.
Okay.
Please go check it out because he is fantastic.
Put the link in the description.
I sure am. I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah. So there we go. All right. Well, I guess it's time for us to move on to the next portion of the show, and that would be Monty's important shit. Let's do it. As soon as it loads up, the audio.
FlyingZombies.com, Blog Talk Radio, and Team MFN proudly present Hannibal and Monty's Action News with L. Damon on sports, Keith, the man on the street, meteorologist scientist Mel on weather, and Hannibal and Monty's Action News anchors, Hannibal and Monty. And now, here's lead anchor Monty with Monty's important shit.
And here we go again with another important shit. 2 in a row. It is rare that this happens.
Yeah. I gotta say, just once again, shout out to the music for Monty's important shit. That shit's awesome.
Yes, yes. I wish I could meet the guy that made that music.
Yeah, I wish I could see his face one day.
Yeah. One day, I hope to stand in his presence and see his face. But
and shout out to my production partner, Ace One of the Influence. He's somewhere in the forum right now. If you're there, Ace, man, make sure you throw a thumbs up or type something in the thread. Everyone know that you're in the building.
And look, and fun fact, Ace Wonder, who I know and have met many times, has never been on a little show or a shit show. Let's fix that shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He's never been on another show.
We have to. That's the show we need to get the Mongoose on, so we can tell the story of the Double Dutch Rudder.
Yeah.
So look, I'm gonna say this: anybody that tunes into this now or after, leave a thumbs up on this, and it'll let us know that you want to hear the story of the Double Dutch Rudder with the 2 people that were involved in that story.
Shout out to Chris Bell in the building. Black Ice, he's in the building. He actually left us a voicemail last week about Eminem.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And he has a phenomenal magazine, Inspire Magazine. We're gonna get you on the show one day too, Chris Bell, Black Ice.
Yes.
But anyway, what's Monty's important shit?
All right, so important shit today. I got a couple things. I got a couple things going on. Or actually 3, only 3 this time. But First, in music shit, I don't know if you guys heard about what happened with T.I. in the video he dropped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which I'm still struggling with it. I don't have my opinion's not solid on it. Like I can't really speak on how I feel, but I will say it makes me laugh watching the reactions. So, Hannibal, how much? Or I know Nate knows what's up. Like, have you been following it? Do you know anything more than I do, other than he made the video and they're calling for, or Melania Trump's spokesperson or whatever is calling for a cancel T.I.?
Well, they call it for him to be
boycotted.
They're they call him for him to be boycotted because but the video is just her, doing what she used to do, take off her clothes, for a powerful man.
True.
Let's not pretend. Melania is a trophy wife, right? Yeah. She's a trophy wife, and that's what Donald Trump represents. He represents that white power with a trophy wife from some third world country, and him just doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And she can easily be replaced too. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true. But see, my thing is, I like to play games in my mind, which is why I get torn on certain things, because I'm like, if Bon Jovi did a video with Michelle Obama in the same position, what would I think about it? And I'm like,
I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough. So I'm not vocal about my opinion because I don't have one. I'm arguing with myself right now to figure out which side wins.
But let's keep it real. I'd rather see Melania in that position than Michelle. Don't get me wrong. I think Michelle was if you're talking about the bangable first ladies, Melania is number one, and Michelle would be like number two on that list.
See, I got it the other way around. I got to think Michelle is number one, and then Melania is number two. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to hold on to that donk. Like Melania is, you know what I'm saying? It's like I enjoy I guess you're just enjoying the aesthetic, but like Michelle, like the only thing, like Michelle's gonna make sure that you eat healthy afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're gonna have to eat like a plate of vegetables or something, but that's good for you.
Let's think about this rationally now. Michelle, if Barack, if he look at a chick too tough, he in trouble. He can't. You got to cancel Christmas. They're gonna be like the president's staying at the Marriott. He can't go home. Michelle and wilding out. You know what I'm saying?
That's because that nigga knows he fucked up if he did that.
That's right.
But is that not true of any black woman?
Candace Owens, maybe. Candace Owens.
Oh yeah. That'd be funny as shit if like Candace Owens is like if she get in a relationship, like she'd be like ultra right wing, hard right conservative. Then she get in a relationship and then she just go sister girl on your ass. That would just be a lot of things to deal with it.
Listen, if you hit the whole lot of shit. When you hit that right spot, she's gonna be right. She's gonna be right, going right, get up. She's gonna be like, I just say this for a check, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm really down. Look at the skin color. No, but I'm saying, you know what? I would honestly, I would like Melania because I can bang porn stars and playmates. Like he had side chicks. Everybody knew about his side chicks, and she cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So and she's a model. You know what I'm saying? So I would Melania is number one on the list.
Yeah, if you're the type of dude that needs side chicks, I'm happy with just one person. So, whatever. But
if I was Donald Trump, I need as many side chicks as possible.
Yeah, if I was Donald Trump, I'd be a totally different motherfucker. But
that's true.
Yeah. So that happened. And side note on T.I., Hannibal informed me tonight that his album's out and I haven't heard it. So T.I., you fucked up on marketing that album. Because I would have listened to it day of if I had known it came out. I didn't know it came out.
Look, listen, Tilly. You should after the show go download it and listen to it. And it's like right now. And I want to save this for our end of the year show. Spit Raw, what's good, man? I see one of my homeboys jumped in the thread. Yo, and right now, if I had to make a list, and I want to save this for our year-end show. Yeah. We do our top list in every category: music, movies, TV shows.
Oh, yeah, that's coming back. Lil Wayne needs some redemption from the last one we did.
Yeah, but right now, if I had to make a list of the best rap albums of the year, T.I.'s album is top 5 easily, maybe top 3.
But I'm saying, could you name another all right? If we had a maybe top 10 list, but I don't know who like who else are we talking about? Who is the top 5 if you're talking about albums this year? Because you talk about Cardi B. You got to put Cardi B up there. I think Cardi B.
Cardi's album is dope.
Eminem's album.
M's album.
Eminem, Kamikaze. I gotta put. I'm hesitant, but I keep hearing it. I'm like, I like most of these songs. Queen is pretty fucking awesome.
Queen is good too.
I really hate to admit it. Queen is pretty fucking awesome. Nicki's bringing that fucking monster Nicki on most of that album.
But I would say I would put Cardi's ahead of Nicki's though. Even though, don't get me wrong, I'm feeling Nicki too, but I would put Cardi ahead of Nicki because Cardi, all her shit is like hits. Every time I hear another track on that motherfucking record, it's blowing up. It's like shit's really good.
Yeah, no facts. Monty still hasn't heard Cardi's album yet.
Yeah, I have not.
You probably heard all, but you probably heard all those songs on the radio though.
I have not, according to the text, which I think I posted it on Facebook.com/Hannibal and Monty. I posted a screenshot of me texting with Hannibal, and it said, I have not listened to Cardiologist B album yet.
Wow. Cardiologist B. So my homeboy Spit Raw just put like a list of like some of the albums. Like, as a matter of fact, everybody that's watching the show right now, if you're in the chat room, just drop a couple of the albums that you feel like was the best rap albums to come out this year out of curiosity. Spit Raw put T.I.'s album, which is amazing. I haven't heard Jaron Benton's it's not a Yuck Fu album. And sidebar Spit Raw, we produced 2 tracks. I think Ace, we produced 2 tracks for Jaron Benton. Not on that album. We did 2 tracks for Jaron. I have to email them to you one day. Did J-Rock's album is phenomenal. I haven't heard Reasons Project. Push's album is dope. M's album is amazing.
But hold on, Pusha T. We not putting him in the top 5 though. Pusha T. His album is good. It's listenable to, but it's not top 5 though.
No man, I really like that album. Like I love the way he bookended it. Like, if you know, you know. That joint with him and Ross, that hard piano joint, and he ended it with the diss record. That's a hard album. Like, to say 7 tracks, that shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? Royce the 5'9's album though, Book of Ryan, right now is my favorite rap album of the year, and I haven't heard anything yet that could knock that off the top.
Me, oh, wow. I put Book of Ryan right under Kamikaze, but it's hard to make that choice. Book of Ryan is fucking phenomenal. If you haven't heard it, check out Book of Ryan. Book of Ryan will hit you in your gut with some fucking real shit.
But what about, there's 2 albums you guys haven't mentioned. Now, the first one, Astro World, Travis Scott, that was the #1 album in the country.
So Astro World right now, I think, is the best produced album of the year. And I give so much credit to Travis Scott and his ability to pick beats and the way he crafted that project. I still haven't listened to it all the way through, so I'm holding my opinion right now. But the 75% of the album that I have heard, I think I can very comfortably say that his album is one of the best produced albums of the year. And I think Sicko Mode is one of the best singles to come out in rap music in the last 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I think very highly of that record. Like, I love that he took the artistic chances that he did on that project. See, we can turn this into a whole fucking rap show.
But hold on. There's one other album that I think we missed too, though. Scorpion by Drake. How could Scorpion by Drake not be? Do you guys consider it a rap album, or do you guys consider it R&B?
I have trouble putting Drake on any list. I try hard. I can't, but that's just me. I'm not an authority on this. I'm just going from what I feel.
My opinion of that album, like, first off, I think it's a dope album, but the issue I have with it, and it's not an issue that I have with it, because as a content creator, as a musician, as a producer, I understand the unique struggle that Drake and, to a lesser degree, Nicki Minaj face when they make music. And specifically with Drake, it's like he has so many different types of fans that like him for different reasons. So there's people that like rapping Drake. There's people that like Drake rapping on that with bars, and then there's people that like Drake rapping on that emo shit, you know. And then there's people that like him rapping on trap shit. Then you get the people that like singing Drake, and then they like the R&B Drake, but then there's also the pop reggae Drake. And then the question is, how do you make an album that appeases all those people? Because nobody gets enough of what they want from him to be truly satisfied.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you like Drake for one specific element, like I like rapping Drake, I like hip hop Drake, I like when he spit bars. You know what I'm saying? So for that album only gave me like 4 or 5 joints that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? But for somebody who likes R&B Drake, there's like 4 or 5 joints that they want. Somebody who likes pop Drake, there's 4 or 5 joints for them. You know, so I love that he was able to do that, but I also understand that as long as he's trying to appease all those different types of fans, it's going to be hard for any non-Drake fan. Like if you're a fan of a very specific skill set of his, it's going to be hard to fall in love with that project. But
there's pieces of it though you could fall in love with though.
Yes. And also, Drake is not in the Sunken Place. We're getting to that. We're still on Monty's important shit right now. We're getting there, though. I just looked at the chat, and I was like, no, Drake is not in the Sunken Place. No Sunken Place for Drake. But,
hold on. Hey, Hannibal, you should do a mic check.
I gotta respond to Chris Bell right now. Kamikaze was not trash, and we gonna fight when we talk, bro. Okay. After I finish the show, I'm gonna call you. We gonna talk about Kamikaze. Talk about that shit trash. You out your motherfucking mind.
Yeah, Kamikaze wasn't trash. I don't know. That's that. Yeah.
He just be other shit. He Drake looks like a guy that can't be trusted.
He's trolling us right now, saying Kamikaze was trash.
Yes.
That's straight troll right there.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's jump into the place. Let's do this.
Well, wait. Let's finish we got to finish the important shit. I got 2
Oh,
more. I got 2
right.
more.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I interrupted the important shit.
Yes. We got one more thing too that I don't know if you want to do, but we'll figure it out. But in other news, since we T.I. led us to talking about albums, I didn't expect that to happen. Machine Gun Kelly is not dead. He did not overdose on Ligma. So there was this week there was a rumor floating around, and I'm going to read this. It says Richard Colson Baker, known professionally as Machine Gun Kelly, was found dead by his manager of what seems to be a Ligma overdose. Sources close to MGK say after Eminem's release of Killshot, Machine Gun Kelly fell into a depression and started abusing Ligma.
Now wait a minute. Now I might be a little bit rusty because I might not know my street lingo. What is Ligma?
Ligma balls.
People
fell for this shit and they thought Machine Gun Kelly was dead. It's a joke. It's a joke started by a Fortnite player. I had to research this to find out what the origins were. So I found out it's a joke started by a guy playing Fortnite. And
that's hilarious. I'm mad I walked into it. I'm mad I walked right into it. I said, what's Ligma balls?
Yes. Ligma balls.
He straight repackaged the D's Nuts joke.
Yes. Yes.
Just walked into it.
So Machine Gun Kelly is not dead. If he's dead of anything, it's of a kill shot. He did not overdose on Ligma.
Bang, bang.
Yes. So, and the top news in important shit on Tuesday night, both YouTube and PlayStation Network crashed.
Yeah. I experienced that. It was hell. It was hell.
Yes. I have nothing to elaborate with. That just happened. So
yeah.
There you go. And it sucked for me. And look, here's the thing with important shit. Ever since the little show, I'd come up with these topics, and I was like, Hannibal, Mongoose, why don't we do a show about this? And they're like, no, that shit's not important enough. Why do you want to do a topic about that? Nobody gives a fuck about that. And, they blew it off. So I was like, well, fuck. And the compromise was I do this segment of the show where I talk about the shit that I think's important that they just like to blow off. And we may have lost Nate, but we're going to have his fancy logo not sitting over Hannibal's name in a second. While we roll into What's Eating Hannibal. So if you're ready to roll into that, we can make that happen.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it brief. You know what I'm saying? So we can roll right into the Sunken Place.
Keep it brief, and then we'll hit the Sunken Place. So let's do this. All right, here we go. Time for What's Eating Hannibal.
Women drivers, people who talk during the movie, customers who cannot make up their mind while ordering food.
They shit on LA, they shit on Chicago, they shit on Miami, they shit on New Jersey.
New Yorkers, Atlanta Falcon fans, possibly people from Alaska.
They hate Canadians, they hate the South, they hate the rain, they hate the snow, they hate murder, they hate crime, they hate fucking everything. They hate the Knicks when they're winning, they hate the Knicks when they're losing.
Indecisive morons, blithering idiots, humans. These people have formed a burning question. What is grinding Hannibal's gears?
What's Eating Hannibal? Shout out to the Mongoose for making that intro and then making the intro wrong with the wrong title behind it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep this one simple because I really want to get to the Sunken Place today. So what's Eating Hannibal? What's Eating Hannibal today is people who share unverified memes as fact. Like, you people's fucking suck. You guys are awful. I hate these people with a passion. It's like, so I had an experience a couple weeks ago with a very close friend of mine shared this post, this meme that said in California right now, in Southern California, you know, the school system is forcibly teaching kids about homosexuality and, you know, to try to make them more tolerant, you know, to the LGBTQ community and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, well, let me look into this. And it literally took like 1 second of research to find out that this shit came from like a hard right conservative news site, you know, and then it made its way into general pop, you know what I'm saying? And then he got it and was like, oh, this is fucked up. And then he started sharing it and commenting on it. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, man, that shit not real. It's not a thing. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? The school system is not doing the thing that your meme is saying. You need to take that shit down. And then he doubled down on his stupidity and was like, no, man, because see, what you got to understand is, man, I don't got to understand shit, okay? That shit that you posted ain't real. It's not fucking happening, all right? And people share shit like this all the time, and sometimes it's not that bad. Like, sometimes it's not that threatening. Like, sometimes you'll get, like, the obvious, the sequel to Coming to America 2, starring Kevin Hart as Prince Akeem's son. That shit's not real. It's not happening. Don't believe that shit. Or like the dumb shit like Oprah bought BET with like $4 million cash. First off, Oprah don't handle cash. She's Oprah. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, you know, regardless of what you think about it, BET is worth way more than $4 million. Goddamn, World Star is worth more than $4 million. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that shit. But those aren't the ones, like, you know, so you get those memes that people share, you know what I'm saying, that don't really, it's not really dangerous, it doesn't really hurt anybody. Then you get like the people like sharing the death hoaxes, like, oh, Machine Gun Kelly just died, Adam Sandler just died, fucking Morgan Freeman just died, or something like that. And it's like, you know, that's real easily verifiable shit. But then you get like the memes like, you know, Donald Trump in a 1986 interview with Time Magazine said that if he ever ran for president, he would run as a Republican because Republican voters are stupid.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, man, that's not real. That shit never happened.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And people will share that shit over and over and over again. I'm like, look, I say this shit all the time to people. It's 2018. Your cell phone is a fucking computer. You can literally, you have access to the world's information right there in your hand. Just take a second and Google that shit. Just get online and Google. Go to Snopes.com, you know what I'm saying, and just look around and just make sure before you share it that there's some modicum of truth in it. You know what I'm saying? And then if you share some unverified bullshit and then somebody calls you on it, before you get angry and respond to them, first, just make sure you're right. Okay? Just before you start to defend yourself, just take a second and be like, well, let me make sure that the shit that I posted is actually true. And if it's wrong and you realize that, oh, you know what, the shit I posted isn't true, you delete it and then you thank the person who helped you. Okay? Don't fucking attack them. Don't double down on your bullshit. All right? Just stop sharing unverified memes, man. This shit is it's so fast. And I get it. You don't want to take the time. You don't want to do the research. You know what I'm saying? It's just like take a second, all right? Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is making yourself look like a dumbass, and you're making other people stupid because they think that it's verified information because it's coming from you. And the people that think of you as a verified source realize that now you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So just save yourself the embarrassment and just do the research. That's what's eating Hannibal.
Yes. Great what's eating Hannibal. Now, let's just roll into it because we got about an hour to go. Let's hit it right off the bat. Let's just get in and get into the topic. Let's start talking about who belongs in the sunken place. And let's do it. So here's our first subject. I don't know if you guys have the share thing, if you can see it, but the people can see it. If you can't, I'll explain it to whoever didn't get it. But here we go. Let's do this. Oh, there we go. Play.
Let's talk some shit about David Clark.
All I want to do is have a conversation. I can't have a conversation with you if we're both talking at the same time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make something very clear. Blue lives matter in America.
There's only one in America, one time, that truly cares about the lives of black people in these urban ghettos. And it's the American police officer who goes down there on a daily basis, puts their life on the line to protect who? Black people. John who?
John Lewis, he was bloodied on the Selma Bridge, Sheriff, when he was trying to protest voting rights and organizing sit-ins and a variety of things on behalf of the black community.
Are you going to let me talk, Ebony? Black males are 2 times more likely to be shot by a law enforcement officer than white males. Don, that is a lie. When sports starts to seep into politics, it's disastrous.
Sheriff, you know the president well. Is he a white supremacist? Do you think he's racist?
Furthest thing from it. Let me ask you this. Do we know that generally the American law enforcement officers are racist? Do we know this?
Well, there we go.
Shit.
Sheriff David Clark. So, gentlemen, the question is David Clark in the sunken place?
Yes.
I didn't even know that was the question. I thought that was a statement. Like, yeah, he is.
That's the question. Like, we're here. Look,
it's an obvious one.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing with this. This isn't like Donkey of the Day where we're coming and we've already decided. What this is us discussing this and talking about some of the nuance to the situation. Is there any with David Clark? Or is there any with any of these people we're talking about?
So I'm always, whenever I talk to, first off, Hannibal, the beat animal, 1/3 of Earth's Smartest Production Trio team, MFN, is no fan of law enforcement at all. Okay. Yes. I've got way too many negative experiences with police. And one day we might just have to do a show where I just talk about all just the fugazi, just craziness that's happened in my lifetime and just be like, look, that's the show right there. So, but whenever I hear cops talk about, whenever I hear law enforcement officers talk about, their job, and I recognize that it's a difficult job. Like what they do is not easy. And I try to I always try to look at things from the other person's perspective. I was like, well, if I was in your shoes, how would I deal with this? How would I handle that? And it's just, look, at the end of the day, David Clark, before he was anything else, was a black guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that you weren't hassled and harassed by law enforcement when you were younger at any point. You know what I'm saying? This was some shit that you had to go through. So to see him now being at the rallies with the Blue Lives Matter and just it's not true that the cops are shooting black people more than white. Like, bro, so there's a whole lot of statistics that oh shit, I'm on all three screens. Check me out.
Oh, Keep it going. Keep it going.
Look, so
look, when shit like that happens, just roll with it. Know that I'm fixing it. I'm currently fixing it.
Look.
Your job, Hannibal, is to keep talking when that shit happens. I'm fixing it.
Yeah, look, David Clark. If he doesn't belong in the Sunken Place, I don't know who does. You know what I'm saying? Something is seriously off with that dude, and it just I can't. Nate, you got to tell me. I'm
going to keep it 100. I want full disclosure. I used to be in law enforcement.
Okay.
I arrested many.
This is why I wanted your opinion on David Clark. I was curious what you thought about him.
Now, I will say this. As a black man in law enforcement, you're too black for the whites and you're too white for the blacks. That's kind of what they say. You know, it's just like, you know, you live in this kind of nebulous world where you're trying to do a job, but you're trying to be sensitive to the plight of other black men because you are a black man and you understand, just like Hannibal was saying. I have been there where I've been harassed by police before. Hell, when I was an officer, sometimes I was harassed by it. And, you know, and when I had to pull out a badge and like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We're on the same team, then shit calms down. So I do understand that. But I'll say this. I've been working in the streets, and I worked in tough neighborhoods. If the only people you see when you're in a tough neighborhood like that is black and brown people, because that's who live there, and it's the only people you see doing the crimes, you get kind of your mindset goes to wherever you see black people or brown people, they are the ones also doing the crimes. You know what I'm saying? And I'll even say I got trapped up into that because the 99% of the people who I was arrested, 99% of the interactions that I had as an officer was with black and brown people. I hadn't arrested a white person for a long time until, you know, a couple of times I did eventually, but because I was in the inner cities. And what it does, think about this, when you don't live in that community, but you come in as an invading force, as law enforcement, because most of the cops in the inner cities don't live in the inner cities. They live in the suburbs. They come like an invading force and then try to tell you what to do in your own home, in your own place. Like, you know, you got to do X, you got to do Y. And you're like, shit, you know, you get to go home. I got to live here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nobody's telling you what to do. And I think that type of interaction is what hurts the community between black and police. Now, one thing that I found, a lot of police officers I found that police officers, just like black people, just like white, are not monolithic. I knew a lot of very good cops who really cared about the community, and I knew a lot of just asshole cops who just saw black people as overtime numbers. You know, that guy is going to get me my TV for overtime. You know, and with that, you can't judge everyone the same way. But I will say this: I don't think it's the cop on the street that's the problem. I think it's the system that puts that cop on the street and tells him to go after the niggas. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
I actually agree with you. That's truth. Like when I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, or I grew up in Kenner. I live in New Orleans now, but after Katrina, I moved to Gonzales. And for me, when I hit Gonzales, I brought my fear of police with me. And I got to Gonzales and ran into a nice cop. And, like, nice enough that I was at a point where I expressed that fear. I was like, where I told him, I'm surprised that you're so nice, which brings me to a statement that I said to Hannibal off air, which was, white people look at black people the way black people look at police.
Yeah.
So
we've been that's because we've been trained to do that. We've literally been trained. Like to be honest with you, think about this: when you walk down the street and you see a group of young black men, chilling on the street corner, you can't tell me, if you're being honest with yourself, you can't tell me that you're going to be more cautious than if that was just a group of white guys.
For me, no, because I live on the other side of Earhart from Hollygrove. Those niggas, are just chilling.
I'm talking about outside of just outside of unique locations, but and that's because we've been conditioned so much to think the black man is not only evil, they're rapists, they're murderers, they're thieves. When you watch the TV, only people you see getting arrested is black people, and that mentality translates to interactions with the police because you already have that built-in fear. These are people who I'm afraid of.
Yeah, and I get that. And Emily in the chat just said a group of white guys chilling scares the shit out of her, to be honest. And that's a whole different discussion. Like men scaring women, which is a discussion that doesn't happen. Not happening on this show. We're gonna save that for later. We want a woman in the middle for that one. So.
Like for me, I've had so many negative experiences with law enforcement that like I've been held at gunpoint 11 times in my life, and 9 of those 11 times was cops on the end of them guns. Okay. Wow. Like I literally, and Ace Wonder could tell you because he's in the chat room. We had the cops come to our studio one time and take our studio equipment from us. We had the cops one time come to the studio while we was in a recording session, throw everybody on the ground and put us in handcuffs and made us prove that that was our space. You know what I'm saying? Like I done had so many negative experiences with the police that I just be like, matter of fact, I got pulled over like a week ago, and there was a cop riding behind me. You know what I'm saying? He was behind me for a really long time. So then I switched lanes and he pulled me over. And then when he pulled me over, he was like, "Yeah, we were behind you and you switched lanes." You know, and I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Because I'm a black man in America and I'm fucking terrified y'all gonna murder me." Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, I hear that."
Yeah.
That was it. You know what I'm saying? And he let me go. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, this shit is just, I don't fuck with police. I stay very, very, very far. And then whenever I talk about my disdain for law enforcement, I think oftentimes people hear it as, "Oh, Hannibal has an issue with white cops." So I didn't bring up nobody's race. I have an issue with police officers. Okay, like, and most of the time when I have problems, it'd be black cops that I have issues with, not white.
And I'll say this as a former black cop, I had to check myself a couple of times because for some reason, I just found myself to be hyper vigilant against my own people. Like at a couple of times, I had to kind of back off and be like, "Hold the fuck on, relax." You know what I'm saying? These are the same. You know, why am I so? Because it's almost like I felt like I had to prove myself to my white counterparts that I was just as, you know, fierce and oppressive to black people as they were, you know, and I kind of had to, and you know, it's like almost a psychological thing, and I had to kind of step back and say, no, you know, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to continue to be who I am and try to treat everybody as equally as possible. I have my own preconditions, but if I can just treat everybody fairly, and I had such a more fulfilling career because I didn't just see everybody as criminals. I kind of, you know, I'm starting to see people as people. And again, I don't know why it is that black cops do that, but black cops are more like a black cop would be quick to give a black brother a ticket, but it'll be less likely to white guy. Real quick, Nate, is it was always bothering me about that is like if I get pulled over or harassed by a white cop, I don't want to say I give him a pass because that's not accurate, but like I'm a little more understanding because I know that when he looks at me versus, you know, somebody else, he can't tell the difference between me and him as far as he's concerned. We're the same. But like when a black cop pulls me over, I know, you know, within seconds of talking to me, whether I'm a street nigga or a college nigga, you know the difference.
Yeah,
you
Hannibal.
And the fact that you still press me that way, you know what I'm saying? That's what pisses me off.
But Hannibal, how much of that falls into like that 40-year-old virgin scenario where it's like, look, I know you're a nigga, but I want you to be my nigga. Like we're looking for the hookup from the other black person at this job. How much of that is that? Where, you know, when the cop stops you, it's like, we look the same. Why don't you hook me up oh, you're not gonna hook me up? You gonna hit me harder? Fuck you then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, matter of fact, you know what? I don't mean to change the subject, but I would have been said that happened to me yesterday. That's right on point with this. So as you guys know, I'm no longer in law enforcement. I was I walked the streets for a while. Then I was at ADA, and then now I'm in private practice. So I'm a defense attorney. So I'm on the other side of the bar. So I'm playing ball with my boys. Now, don't mind you, I can still shoot.
Daryl.
I can still shoot. Now, no matter what.
Right? Yeah.
No matter what y'all say, I can't run up there. I can't dunk. I can't do nothing, but I can still knock down a 10-foot jump shot. So my jump shot is wet. If you want to come out here and test it, you can ask some of the cats who played out here with me. I'm a legend out there. My shot goes down hard. But anyway, this is not about my basketball acumen. So I'm there with a couple of cats I know, and they still in life. You know how it is. They got to do whatever they got to do to make money. But I'm still cool with them. These are cats that I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? So they still do what they do. I do what I do. But we all can still hang out together. So next thing I know, there's a group of cops that come running up onto the basketball court, like 2 detectives and a couple of cats in uniforms. So they come to my boy, the cat that's kind of still in life, and they like, yo, we want to talk to you. So he's like, why? They were like, yo, we want you to come down to the precinct with us. So I stepped up and I was like, yo, so I was like, you want to talk to us all? They're like, no, we're not talking to you. We're talking to him, and he got to come with us to the precinct. So I said, well, is he under arrest? They said, what are you asking questions for? We told him to come to the precinct. Shut up. Everybody shut up and get up and show me your ID. So we all up against the wall. They wanted, everybody could keep their hands out their pockets, show IDs. And they want to see everybody ID. So I'm like, I'm not showing you anything. I said, number one, why does he have to go? So they're like, no. Shut up. I'm just talking to him. If you keep asking questions, I'm going to arrest you. So I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to sit here and chill and see what happens. So my boy, he knows that I'm an attorney. He knows that I'm a defense attorney. So he tasked the cop. He's like, well, can I bring my lawyer with me? And the cop's like, nah, there's no lawyers involved. You're going to come down here to the precinct. We're going to talk to you. And that's it. No lawyer. So he's like, I got to go. And they was like, well, you coming no matter what. But, I don't know what you're going to. So he's like, well, listen, I'm going to bring my lawyer with me anyway. So he's like, come on, Nate. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So they looked at me and they're like, what do you mean, come on, Nate? He can't come. And I'm like, well, I'm his lawyer. So they're like, what? They're like, yeah. So yeah, I'm his lawyer. They said, so let me see let us see some ID. So I showed them my bar card. And I was like, yeah, I'm a licensed attorney in the state of New York. So I said, now, are you telling me my client has to now go to the precinct? Is he under arrest? Are you everything that you just said? Because I'm like, I got it on video. So I just want to make sure my client is forced to go with you to the precinct and cannot say no, right? And the cop was like, no. This is a total misunderstanding. We don't want to talk to him. So they're like, well, you guys can come to the precinct. We'll give you a ride. We just wanted to talk to him. So after that, I told them. So they were like, so are you guys going to come? And I said, you know what? Hell fucking no. We not going nowhere with you. If he's under arrest, we will go because we have no choice. But if he's not under arrest, turn your asses around and get the fuck in your cars and get the fuck out of here. And tell him his lawyer told you that. When you tell your lieutenant what the fuck happened, say his lawyer was right there and told us to get the fuck out of here unless we got a warrant. Peace. Nice. And guess what? They turned around and walked their ass away. But nice. the problem was that they feel that they can go do that to people who don't know. So they were just running up on a whole bunch of black cats playing ball and saying we could tell them whatever. But now me being an attorney, me being a former attorney who was in law enforcement, I know all that shit. And now they gotta dress it up. Okay, no, he doesn't really have to come now. And that's the part of policing I don't like. Them trying to take advantage of people who don't know their own rights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And that's one of the issues I have. It's like I just feel like a target when I'm out and about. Because my most recent, which was a long way off, my most recent experience with law enforcement was me getting pulled over because I was driving too shitty of a car in the wrong area. With my daughter in the car, and I had to explain where the fuck I was going, and that shit, without me saying a word, made my daughter cry. which made me want to go back and find that cop and punch him in the dick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've had instances. I've had so many of those instances happen. You know, driving while black in the wrong part of town. Like I've always tried to live in especially when I moved to Atlanta. I've always lived for the most part in the nicer parts of Atlanta. And like when I was living in and Ace Wonder can tell you this. When I lived in Sandy Springs, I used to get pulled over like once a month. You know, and then when I moved, I was working at this Home Depot in Dallas, Georgia. Like in like Cobb County, Georgia, the home of the big boss man for wrestling. I used to get pulled over twice a month for the year that I worked there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And as a matter of fact, it was one of those times I got pulled over. That's what actually landed me in jail.
Hold on. Did you just make a Cobb County, Georgia big boss man reference?
Yes,
he did.
Yes.
Impressive.
Cobb County is fucked up. Like it is widely known. Like if you're in Georgia, if you're driving around, like you got to be extra careful in Cobb County. These motherfuckers don't play out here.
No, but what that told me, what your Cobb County comment told me is, number one, you're over 30 years old. It told me you're over 30 years old, because nobody, if you know the big boss man in Cobb County, Georgia, and number two, you're talking about when WCW was still around, because the big boss man, he was there, right? He transferred to WCW, became the Angel.
Yeah.
And then he was only introduced as the big boss man from Cobb County, Georgia, when he was with the WWF. And we're talking about maybe the late 80s, early 90s. So you're pushing like maybe 35, 40. We're like, we later on.
Look, we some old niggas on this show.
Yes. I'm just saying, just because he said that, I got all that information.
or you know what I'm saying? Or maybe my uncle and I used to watch wrestling when I was really young, and he used to show me a lot of old wrestling that I grew up watching. And after I got committed to watching that old wrestling, I couldn't watch the new shit no more. You know why that's not true? Because you said Cobb County, Georgia. Yeah. And you're right, you were a kid, because I was a kid watching that shit too. That's how I know. You're around my age. So I'm sorry. My police investigative skills.
I gotta, and I hate to cut us off, but I have to, because I let this go too long and I'm watching the time. We got to make a decision. Is Sheriff David Clark in the Sunken Place? Because we got to move on to the next one. Yes. Do we all agree?
Yes.
So this is unanimous, because I agree.
It's a 3-3 decision.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Let this play. Hang on, here it comes. It's coming any second. Any second. Really? I have the shit queued up, and it's not gonna work if I don't have the volume up. Hang on. My fuck up. So
now sink into the floor.
And Sheriff David Clark.
Now you're in the sunken place.
Yes. And that graphic will update after I come back, after we move on to our next one, which is Kevin Jackson. So if you guys are ready for Kevin Jackson, let's do Kevin. Yes. Oh shit! Wait, I did that backwards. See, I spent all day planning this shit and it didn't happen. This is better than last week, though. I'm more prepared than I was last week. I saw the problem before it became a problem. But it's still going.
Let's talk some shit.
There we go. So, next we're going to talk some shit about Kevin Jackson once it goes back. And I resize the window so that you people in the chat room can see it. This is all for you. All for you in the chat room. Because I think it looks the same for them in the regular thing. So here we go. Let's talk some shit about Kevin Jackson. I'm just going to transition and roll with it.
Let's talk some shit about Kevin Jackson.
Author and syndicated radio host, a proud Black Tea Party conservative, Kevin Jackson joins. Good to see you again.
Kevin Jackson has been terminated from his position at Fox News after the radio host and contributor called Brett Kavanaugh's female accusers lying skanks in a series of tweets on Thursday.
Yeah. And we got to deal with racism in a place where it doesn't exist.
Well, let me tell you what whites are frustrated about. They're frustrated about the amount of crime that black teens create.
Richard conveniently forgets that the president of the United States is black, the attorney general is black.
Here we go.
The Democrat that runs that city is there. The police chief is black. He wants to forget that. The other thing that Richard wants to forget.
Richard, be quiet. In one tweet, Jackson wrote, Christine Blasey Ford's academic problems came from her promiscuity. Dang girl, stop opening your legs and open a book.
If Eric Holder wants to make a poster child out of what's going on in the community in terms of black policing, he should be looking at these other jurisdictions. He's looking at Ferguson
Charles
as if there's
Oglesby,
some
go ahead.
cesspool.
And it's about the death, the unfortunate death of a kid who probably shouldn't have died had he used a little bit more common sense.
Kevin Jackson has been terminated as a contributor. His comments on today's hearings were reprehensible and do not reflect the values of Fox News.
We had a little problem right there.
Are you finished?
Wow. when you two racists of Fox News, you got a problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you get fired from Fox News.
I think Charlemagne said it the best. It was like, see, Fox News doesn't care if they use you as a token black to go after other black people. But then he started talking shit about a white woman. And then they was like, oh, man, you fired.
Yeah, you fucked that up.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know.
Yeah, look, you as a house nigga, you decided, oh, I'm gonna watch TV right now. Like, I'm in here. I'm gonna just change the channel. No, you don't get to do that. You're out. No.
Yeah. It just like so Kevin Jackson for me is that guy who, like, every time you eat a sandwich, he's always gonna slide a little extra mayonnaise on the buns. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't ask for that, man. Like, it don't matter what's that. You could be peanut butter and jelly. He could be like, just get a little helmets on there too, just kind of sneak it up. You know what I'm saying? Like his brand of his brand and style of pundit. So there's a Fox News interview with Kevin Jackson. So Monty and I, what we like to do is, you know, when we do our deep dive in the news, we don't just watch the mainstream media. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally like, you know, we'll do CNN and Fox News. You do Breitbart and Reuters. You do Politico and Newsmax. Like, you read and watch all of it, so that way you can see what everybody's saying, everybody's perspectives and stuff like that. And Kevin Jackson, there was this one episode where he was on. I want to say he was on the morning show that Trump loves like a bunch. What's the morning show?
Fox and Friends.
Fox and Friends.
Well, it sounds like a kid's show, but not really. You know what I'm saying? It's like a kid's show with racist overtones. But so it was like he was on there and they were talking to him. This was when Snoop had put out that song and had that album cover, and the cover was like Snoop standing over a dead body in the morgue, and in the toe tag said Trump. And they brought him on the show, and they were like, "Oh, it's always so good to have you on the show, Kevin." You know what I'm saying? And it was like, "So, Kevin, do you listen to Snoop Dogg?" And he was like, "Yeah, I listen to Snoop. Drop it like it's hot as that shit." And they was like, "Okay." And then they were like, "Well, what did you think of this?" And then all of a sudden, he just Hellman's up. He just miracle whipped that motherfucker. He said, "Oh, I think it's terrible that first off, you know, how much dangerous things has Snoop done to the black community, and this and that." I said, "You mean like his flag football team for upcoming youths? Is that what you mean? Or you mean back in the 90s where he may or may not have, you know, been a dangerous Crip?"
Yo, shout out to Johnny Cochran for getting him off that murder rap. Johnny Cochran.
Yes. But I do want to interject with one thing. Like, I'm down with this whole thing of mayonnaise being the representation of the shitty end of white people doing shitty things to black people. But not all mayonnaise is bad. Homemade mayonnaise is the shit. Make your own fucking mayonnaise. Hellman's, Blue Plate, let's rail on those motherfuckers. I make my own mayonnaise. That's the mayonnaise I eat.
I got you. So, I actually don't eat mayonnaise. I think it's disgusting. Just like whipped eggs and oil. That just does not sound like something I want to put on a sandwich, bro.
That's because you haven't made your own mayonnaise.
Yeah, I like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is alright with me.
You got to make your own. You got to make your own. Because I get it, and I like it. I want to keep it going, but I want to draw that line. Because drawing that line separates the mayonnaise from the allies. Now we're talking about store-bought and homemade.
I don't know. I've never had homemade mayonnaise though. It's a foreign concept to me.
Nate, when are you coming to New Orleans?
That's true. Yeah.
Like we'll hook you up.
You gotta hook me up. Yeah. You gotta
we have to give it the Monty litmus test to see. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that black people do or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, and I'm gonna run through it. Like I do anything. Like I'm gonna put you on the spot, Nate. Name something that you think only white people do.
Rule the world.
Whoa! Fuck! No! Like, look, bring it back a bit. Bring it back.
Like pumpkin spice latte.
All right,
pumpkin spice latte. Well, you said anything. You left that motherfucker wide open. I was like, all right, challenge accepted, baby.
Like,
challenge accepted.
This show is not about that. No. All right, pumpkin spice latte. What I do to find out if the activity I'm about to engage in is, this is how I gauge how white the activity I'm going to engage in is. In my head, I say this phrase, like, if somebody says, we're going to get pumpkin spice lattes today, in my head I say, nigga, you want a pumpkin spice latte?
I like pumpkin spice lattes. I feel bad now. Should I give him a black card now?
No, you get to like it. You get to like stuff that's white, because I found out I like a lot of white shit. I really do. But you see how unnatural that sounds?
It does sound natural.
That's not some black people shit. Like, nigga, you want some ribs? That sounds black.
It rolls off the tongue.
Look, here's the thing I tested it with. Here's the thing I tested it with. Nigga, you want some squash blossoms, nigga? No. Squash blossoms are delicious, though. I cook that shit. I make some bomb ass squash blossoms.
You want to go kayaking?
Yeah, it don't work.
Shout out to Black Ice for that one.
Black Ice.
Yeah, no, nigga, I don't want to go kayaking. What?
I don't want to do that. It just doesn't.
But that doesn't work unless you're the type of nigga that kayaks.
That's
true. Then it's okay.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, and
we're not a monolith.
Yeah, that's right. We do different shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of us eat ribs. Some of us eat kale and quinoa and fucking pumpkin spice blossom. I don't know what that last thing was you said.
It's squash blossoms latte, man.
Squash blossoms. Look. Will and Nate, y'all need to sync up a trip to New Orleans. I'll cook some squash blossoms for both of y'all. And if Tish is in the chat, tell him about my squash blossoms. I throw down on some squash blossoms.
Oh man! So I'm gonna keep it real quick on Kevin Jackson and just hand it off to y'all. Kevin Jackson is the typical, blackface news reporter that they use on Fox News to be like, well, we want to say this stuff about black people, but if we say it, it's going to come across ultra racist. So let's see if we can find a black person to say it. And then Kevin Jackson was like, yeah, I'll take your money. I mean, I'll say what you want me to say.
Yeah.
And then,
but you know what though? But it's that, yeah, because this is just a livelihood. Like, I think all these people who are doing this is just because this is where they're making their money at. I agree with that.
Yeah. But that still qualifies them for the Sunken Place. It's a black body being used by white people.
It's a one-eyed. You guys ever heard of a one-eyed Jack?
No, what is that?
Or one-eyed Joe? You remember Django's you ever watched Django Unchained?
Yeah. So Monty has not seen Django.
What? Oh, he just lost his black card right there.
Real quick, let me just put Monty on the glass real fast. Everybody watching a little show, okay? Monty's one of my closest friends. He's been one of my closest friends for a very long time. Monty does not believe in watching movies. All right. Like he's a TV show guy. He is not a movie guy. So we always have to like press him. And it's like, you could literally throw out 10 movies right now, and there's like a 90% chance that he's only seen one of those movies that you know.
Yeah. Wow. This is actually going to be a game we're going to do on the show where we get a guest to throw out movie names. And it'll most likely be the first one they say. The first one I haven't seen, I have to watch and review on the next show.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which, and I want to point out the hypocrisy of that statement, because you were supposed to watch Django for this episode.
I was, but it wasn't free anywhere. I'm still black.
But I'll say this: but that's a black person who sold other black people into slavery.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to move forward, Kevin Jackson.
Yes.
In the Sunken Place or no? What do we think?
Yeah. He sold out.
All right.
Just sold out, straight out.
Kevin Jackson, Sunken Place, Hannibal.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Like he's there, but he's like that guy that's like voluntarily.
Now,
you know what I'm saying? He's like he's
sink into the floor.
You know what I'm saying? But he's like, oh yeah, I see where this is profitable for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
All right. Well, Kevin Jackson is in the Sunken Place. So
now you're in the sunken place.
There you go. And next we have all of our favorites, which, you know, I didn't think of this part earlier, that I'm going to have to, you know, cue this up while playing those sounds. I could have put them in a different place, but I didn't. But next, we are moving on to Candace Owens. While I'm not looking at the camera, and I'm sorry for not making any eye contact, but we're going to move on to Candace Owens and figure out if she's in the Sunken Place. This might be a pretty quick one.
yeah, it will be.
Yeah. I think the next two are going to be pretty easy to decide with very little discussion.
The next two, huh?
Yeah, the next two. And then there's Kanye. Kanye, I'm trying to hurry up and get to it so we have some time to talk to it. So let's roll through it. This is a shit show, so you get real shit. Like, let's make these next two quick, and let's talk some shit about Kanye, because that's what we all really want to talk shit about. But we got to talk about this stuff. Let's go. Oh, shit. Sorry. There we go. Fuck. Hang on. I'm fucking up. Like I said last week, this is a big truck, and I'm just learning how to drive it. There it is.
Let's talk some shit about Candace Owens.
Victim mentality is not cool. I don't know why people like being oppressed. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I love oppression. We're oppressed. 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow. By the way, none of you guys lived through. Your grandparents did, and it's embarrassing.
White supremacy and the KKK. Really? That's what you want me to be concerned with this week? Oh my God, Charlottesville. White supremacy is alive and well.
You don't think we have to care about the environment? Like, what do you...
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit?
Rather than kneeling at the national anthem and insulting our veterans, our troops, and their families, I had a conversation with our president about what we could actually accomplish to make things better in America for black people beyond what he's already doing. Donald Trump represents the very first opportunity for black Americans to jump off of this ideological slave ship that is the Democratic Party. And quite frankly, you should be ashamed that you're over here laughing at what our community is going through.
The facts are that every race since the beginning of humankind has experienced slavery, and only one of them is asking for reparations from people who didn't enslave them.
The problem with racism is nobody knows what it means anymore. The Starbucks situation, which to me was not racist, was racist.
The Starbucks
we have
that
to define
wasn't
racism.
Racist? You don't think that was racist?
No. I don't think that was racist. And I think that this is something the left has sold. The idea that it's perfectible, that you can like defeat racism, that you can like defeat sexism, that you can defeat misogyny, and this is not possible.
And there we go.
Yeah, I had the pleasure, and I use that word very lightly, of editing that clip. Like Monty did all the rest of them. I did the Candace Owens one, and I sifted through 3 hours of content to put that clip together. And the whole time I was just wanting to throw shit across the room, just like Candace Owens is just. Somebody else got to go first. Listen, y'all got to come back to me on that. She could be a whole What's Eating Hannibal just by herself.
Wow.
She can, and I hadn't done much research into Candace Owens beforehand, and I was wondering who she was before you started talking about her. I had seen bits and pieces of her and skipped her when she came up. But I watched this today, and you heard my reaction. Was it today or yesterday? Whatever.
I think it was yesterday. I sent it to you yesterday before I went to work.
My days are blurring together. Putting this show together is hell. So people, streamlabs.com/Hannibal and Monty. Donate, or at least click the like button. Give me some love. I've been working my ass on this while also doing graphics for Nate Brody, 1/3 of the Black Heathens show.
Thank you so much.
We're getting that. This is black excellence right now you're looking at on the screen. So, 3 of us. His show's awesome. Check it out. But, yeah. So, Candace Owens, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this woman. Why? Why is she this way? But, as I was telling you before, when you started telling me her story, and I'm going to pick your brain on it, I could have become her, not with the platform, because I'm not as hot as her. So I will admit that. YouTube, I'm not as hot as Candace Owens. Candace Owens is pretty hot. So I
think that's part of the issues that they found. And I'm really scared of Candace Owens because she's attractive, she's well spoken. She comes across as very educated. She's super good at arguing her points. She's got these talking points down to a science. You know what I'm saying? It's it's like I said, she's attractive, intelligent, well spoken. She only uses words that she knows her audience, her base can understand. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And normally I wouldn't worry about it because for a very long time, and I said this before the show started, Candace Owens was in for a long time, only white people knew who Candace Owens was. And it wasn't just white people. It was a very specific, the ultra conservative, hard right, people knew who she was. You know what I'm saying? And then it was then she tweeted something about freedom of thought, and it sparked Kanye West. And then now a lot of that shit that y'all hear Kanye West spouting is shit that Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk have been spouting for years. You know what I'm saying? They be sitting down with him and just be pumping his head full of information. Now, Candace Owens goes on her crazy rants about Black Lives Matter being a terrorist group, or how black people shouldn't complain about Jim Crow era and civil rights because that didn't happen to you; it happened to your parents. You know what I'm saying? How police brutality and amongst black people.
I just want to say, anybody that says that thing of that didn't happen to you, check out Joy DeGury. Go check out Joy DeGury. Joy DeGury, and she's not paying me shit. I've been messaging her since we talked about bringing this show back to get her on the show. She won't respond to me because she's good at what she does, and she doesn't want to be on a shit show. So I respect her for it. But go check out Joy DeGury. She will explain why it doesn't matter that it didn't happen to you, because it still happened to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole, but it didn't happen to you mentality is weird. It's just kind of that would be like if you went to the doctor and it was and your doctor, you tell the doctor's yeah, man, I think I'm bleeding inside my chest. And he's like, well, I'm not bleeding inside my chest, so it's all good. And that's a stupid vantage point. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to move forward, we have to have empathy, for other people's problems and stuff like that. But Like Candace Owens, man, she is wildly dangerous. As long as she's got Kanye's ear, she is wildly dangerous because a lot of shit that she says, you know, black people might hear, and we kind of be like, this chick is tripping. But then Kanye hears it, and then he says it, and now all of a sudden I got dudes in my timeline, and it's not a whole bunch of people, but it's just enough people to be like, well, you know, Kanye do got some points. Slavery was, if you think about it, a choice. Like, I get Sunken Place. That's my vote. She deep in the Sunken Place.
Listen, let's just be honest. Candace Owens is someone out here who's found something. If I say these things, I'm going to make a lot of money. There's no way you can believe this stupidity. Or she just might be just that stupid. You know, I don't know what it is. It's either she's that dumb or she's just doing this for a check. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that is interesting is because Candace Owens, like a lot of these new age conservatives, what they do is they like to hijack conversation. So you'll see when she's having a conversation, she'll throw stuff out there, or she'll just continuously interrupt, or she'll come in really aggressive. And the way you really counteract that is that you start out aggressive, you know, and you make sure that they don't get any talking points off, because that's what she wants. She wants to go right to the talking points. I don't think she's as dangerous as she may be dangerous for Kanye, but I don't think she's dangerous for us, because what happens is when you see somebody like Candace Owens and the rest of these people, you let them go spout their nonsense. You know, they know, and she knows she'll never be anything to the black community, to her own people, because she's sold out. She's the Jew that told Hitler where the other Jews were, and even though that's an extreme example, but that's I think that's what she would be if we were talking about Jews in Germany. She would be the one giving over her fellow Jews, because I think she's just so far gone where she can say these things and say, yeah, I don't believe black men. The Starbucks said it was racist, even though the Starbucks company said it was. You know, that's where I think she's at.
But Nate, here's where I challenge you, and I got distracted by a comment on the thing. I'm like, what if what you feel, which is the same as me, like we're in agreement, what if that's the crazy end of it, and we're convinced of that?
We could be. Listen, anything's possible, but I think most of the black people and the people who I associate with from the community all would see a video like that and say this person has lost it. Or see what Kanye's saying and say that person has lost it. I don't know nobody from the hood, and maybe they're out there. Candace was out there. Candace might have been out there. I don't know if she's from the hood. She was out there. But, you know, ain't nobody saying what Kanye said made any sense.
I agree with both of you. Candace Owens is in the Sunken Place. And Emily, yes, she doesn't get to go to the barbecue.
Yeah, she doesn't get a plate. Emily co-opted one of Black Ice's lines. He said, I bet Candace puts raisins in the potato salad.
Yes. She does put raisins in the potato salad. Let's move on to Jesse Lee Peterson, because I want to get to Kanye. Let's do this shit. Like, we need some...
This is the king, though. She should have been last. This is like the king of the motherfucking...
I know.
Cool right
Well,
here.
this is Jesse Lee Peterson. He should have been last, but Kanye's last, because... there's a lot to say about Kanye. We're going to get cut off by the show. So let's do this. Here we go. Come on, move up there. Volume. Sorry, big truck. There we go.
Let's talk some shit about Jesse Lee Peterson.
I have a major announcement right now. As of today, the 1st of July is White History Month. The reason I picked July is because white Christian males and female conservative straight men and women of God are very patriotic, and July just fit with white people. 4th of July, vacations. And so I figure since white people founded this country and created the Constitution, why not White History Month? This is their country.
Okay, now I read a lot about you, and we have a lot in common. We both have lived in Gary, Indiana. Now, what was your stay like in Gary?
It was good until they elected the first black mayor.
You ready for this? It's a doozy.
I'm ready.
It's 2018.
in America, does racism exist?
Absolutely not. And it has never existed.
Whoa!
White Americans have been under attack for the last 60 to 70 years. They've been blamed for all the failures and fault of people of color, and especially black people. And whites have not spoken up for themselves. And as a result of that, they're being punished unjustly. Happy White History Month. That was a hootenanny. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
That was a hootenanny.
Hey, bro, that dude is the real life Uncle Ruckus. Like, he's the real life, my name is Uncle Ruckus, no relation. Like, that's him.
I'm going to tell you a guilty pleasure of mine, which, Nate, you'll appreciate, which is why I like fighting with one of your trolls on the 3 Black Heathen shows, Jesus is Lord. I watch Jesse Lee Peterson every single day when he does his broadcasts.
I just can't even.
Which is why I'm in that chat, and I call him on his shit. I'm like, yeah, Jesse said that this morning. What do you think? Because I heard that already. I want your thoughts.
You know what?
That is the definition of masochism right there, man.
I do want to mention one thing. No matter how mad you are, Jesse Lee Peterson, that's a man that we can all agree wants to be white. If he woke up white tomorrow, that would probably be the happiest thing that ever happened to him.
He would wake up and go, "Oh, look at this beautiful white skin. Oh,
he would say,
Jesus
"Thank you,
gave me
Jesus."
this white skin. I can go out and hang out with that white couple, and they will just love me for who I am."
But think about this.
Think about this, though. Think about this. Reverse vitiligo.
Yes.
I got the opposite of what Michael Jackson had.
But think about this. He has to live every day in his life in a body that's a color that he totally hates.
Yes.
That is his punishment. His punishment is being an actual black man. That's crazy.
That's the point where Jesse Lee Peterson has to go. Is there a God? Because I know you want to be white. I want Jesse Lee Peterson, if you happen to stumble across this YouTube video, have me on your show. I have questions for you.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Hannibal, you come down too. I want both of us on. But Hannibal, you got to give me space to ask the question I want to ask. I don't want you to know what it is. Have me on your show. We'll come down. Let's go.
Yeah. Jesse Lee Peterson is man. he exists. He is real. You know what I'm saying? He just first off, you got to think about all the benefits of being black that you're not even embracing right now. First off, whenever you go play basketball with white people, you always get picked first.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
People assume you have a big dick.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
What else? What are some of the other benefits that come with being black? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's just not embracing, the positive things. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's not embracing his blackness. He wants to be white. He's looking for his whiteness. He doesn't want to be black. So, I embrace my blackness because I was always accused of being too white in school. I'm like, I'm just as black as y'all motherfuckers. Why y'all making fun of me? I go home and watch the same shit y'all are watching on TV. I got the same CDs in my CD changer as you. I just don't sound like you.
He said July should be White History Month. Not German History Month, not German American, not Irish American, not French American, not Italian American. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing. It was just white history. Just take all the white people and just lump them together and all their cultures and diversity and shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers from Sweden are different people from Denmark. Okay? I mean, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, but think about this though. Really think about it. This fucking guy, he hates being black. Yeah. Like every day when he wakes up and he looks in that mirror, that's hell for him. That is pure hell for him, and it's never going to change. So I almost feel pity for the poor fucking man, you know, that he's got to wake up in a black man's body that he totally hates, and goes on the radio and then tells everybody, whoever can hear it, that it's ain't shit. And that's
it's like a fucked up episode of Quantum Leap, like, you know, except like if the main character was like racist, and then he had to leap into like a black dude's body and just had to live as him for a while and complete some task or mission. That's like Jesse Lee Peterson's life. It's just like he woke up as a black guy. It was like it's like the Lil Dicky song, except, you know, if Lil Dicky was racist.
yes. But all right. Let's move past Kanye because we're running short on time.
Real quick, we should do that video. You know what I'm saying? We should do like the Lil Dicky like Freaky Friday joint, but like have him like switch like a racist with like somebody black, and it just let him, and it just redo the whole video with that concept.
Yes. What you mean, like switch Lil Dicky with Jesse Lee Peterson randomly?
No, you would switch Lil Dicky. You would switch. No, you would have to do somebody like switch like Lil Dicky with like Steven Crowder or somebody, or like bitch. You know what I'm saying? And then let them wake up as just like, and then, or like Richard Spencer. He would be great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go all the way David Duke. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
And if you haven't watched, there's an interview of David Duke after Black Klansman came out. Most of you don't have the stomach I do for watching this shit. I watched all 2 hours of that motherfucker. Try it. It's hilarious. But
I'll try it. Although I won't lie, just sitting down trying to watch these videos, just like I said, David Clark, Kevin Jackson, Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Peterson is just look. This was a hard show to prepare for. We
got one more. Let's get to it before we run out of time. So Jesse Lee Peterson, Sunken Place. I don't even know why I'm asking. Jesse Lee Peterson is in the Sunken Place, right? Right?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
If you disagree, it's okay to disagree.
Yeah, I just want to know what got him to that place. I would love to just pick his brain about that. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, how'd you land here?
I'm putting this out there, Jesse. If you stumble on this video, have us on. You want Monty and the Mongoose on your show?
Monty and Hannibal. See, you fucked up.
Fuck. See, and
that's okay.
I'm the first one to make that mistake. You didn't do it this episode.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. You know, we still got time.
Yes. Fuck. You want Monty and Hannibal on your show, and Hannibal will not take his mask off.
Yeah.
So
you know what I'm saying? But look, if I take the mask off, I'm just more blacker and more dark. So you can hate me more. You know.
But let's see what Kanye is all about. As soon as I find my pointer. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Oh shit! Here we go. There we go.
Let's talk some shit about Kanye West.
Kanye. What do you say about Kanye?
You want to see the Sunken Place? Okay, I'ma listen to y'all now. I'm gonna put my Superman cape on.
I don't answer questions in simple sound bites. You are tasting a fine wine that has multiple notes to it.
You know, when you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. They scream at me. They bully me. They bullied me backstage. Don't go out there with that hat on. They bullied me backstage.
So there's theories that there's infinite amounts of universe and there's alternate universe.
And while you are making music and being an artist and living the life that you earned by being a genius, us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives.
I did say abolish with the hat on because why would you keep something around that's a trap door?
How many people felt something that I said today?
That was pretty impressive. And frankly, I'm disappointed. I'm appalled. And brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something To me, that's not real.
So, Kanye West.
So there's so much to like. I watched the press conference with him and Donald Trump like 3 times. I watched like him on TMZ like 2-3 times. So first off, let me say this as a music producer. Matter of fact, let me go back a little bit further than that. Kanye West's college dropout really spoke to my soul, because so much of what he talked about in that album was stuff that I was living in that exact same time. It was like I was, I'm a music producer. He's a music producer. I knew what it was like, like the way he described his college experiences, the way he described being the only black guy that worked at the all-white store, and how he would get treated. Be like, oh, there's some black guys that walked in. Kanye, won't you go ask them if they need help? Like, I related to all that shit because I knew what he was talking about. I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? When Hurricane Katrina happened, he was on TV with Mike Myers. With Austin Powers, and he was like, George Bush doesn't care about black people. It's like, yo, this dude is insane. But it was like, but he was so conscious of just everything. And it's like, so to see him now as this person is like, yeah, I don't even recognize who or what you are. I don't know how you became this. And I have some theories about it, but it's just like, I was watching that interview with him and Donald Trump in the White House, and I watched it over and over again, and I was like, damn it, you talk, Monty. Hey,
like, I don't get it with Kanye. I've been struggling with Kanye since Kanye started with the MAGA hat shit, because I agree with everybody that says that this is Kanye. This is just Kanye being Kanye. And I agree with that. But Kanye being Kanye has become dangerous. That's where I am with it. Because...
But hold on. What do you mean by dangerous? What do you mean by that?
Because the way I see what he's doing is somebody with a platform like Kanye's to be saying what he's saying, knowing what it can do, it's dangerous in the way that it'll make people that aren't reading anything and paying attention and forming their own opinions just side with him and just side with some shit that's going to hurt them. And that's why it's dangerous. Because, look, black people still side with Kanye because Kanye's Kanye. And that's why it's dangerous. That's what I mean by dangerous.
I don't know. I'll tell you.
So what do
this.
you think? Like, give me your opinion.
I'm going to tell you straight up. I know most people in the hood. My mom saw that shit. She's saying that motherfucker crazy. We all know the crazy cats that we know that say crazy shit. Let's just keep it real. Kanye is mentally ill. Kanye has a mental illness, and he has manic stages, and he's bipolar. And you can tell that he's not all there. Now, some of the greatest artists in history were mentally ill in some way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not sure if it's part and parcel. And I think honestly, we all have a touch of mental illness. You know, sometimes you're depressed, sometimes you're this. You know, it really depends on your mood and the circumstances around what's going on.
If any of us are in a position where we're putting ourselves out to the public, we've got some sort of mental illness.
Well, but one thing I do want to say about Kanye, you know, you can tell by that rant, that wasn't somebody who I think you would say is mentally stable. That whole Donald Trump 20-minute incoherent, just train of thought, someone who's in the White House. So it just, and we know he's on medication. He even said it, you know, the doctor told me to take medication. I'm not taking my medication, things like that. So when I see Kanye doing this stuff, I'm thinking that I'm more sympathetic to him because I'm thinking this is a mentally ill person, where I think these conservatives see it and say, this is the type of black person we need to help for our cause. And I think the dangerous part of this is that these right wingers can't tell the difference from a sick from somebody who's mentally ill and sick and having an episode to a regular black man. That's their dichotomy. If he is the pinnacle of black conservatism, then that shit is about to die, because Kanye is no vehicle for that.
The problem is, I think they can tell the difference. And he's being used. And as much as Kanye likes attention, he's going to keep feeding it, which...
Well, who's listening to Kanye for some real shit, though? I'm talking about, honestly, like, do you know anybody who's listening to Kanye and saying that's the company?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. And that's the shit, like, and I said this a while ago, because there's a lot of people I know who sit on my timeline and are like, yeah, man, Kanye's actually got some good points. Like, I got like some people that I know that was very like, yeah, slavery was a choice and there was options and it was this, and it was just like, and I'm like, yo, man, so I'm really not trying to argue with you about some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You are not going to convince me that 2 + 2 is yellow, no matter how much you do it. And it's like all the time on my Twitter timeline and my Facebook, you know, and even on my Instagram, these are people that I personally know that are like, that are supporting Kanye West and some of his viewpoints in this shit, because they like, oh yeah, Kanye's got a point. And it's like they don't realize that like everything Kanye is saying is just regurgitated shit from Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. And if you don't know about Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, they both work for Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA is owned by either like the Wilkes brothers or the Koch brothers. You know what I'm saying? Basically, some people that they're like some billionaire energy consortium money. That's like they make money off of deregulating big companies, so that way they can make as much money as possible. You know, and they want to make their viewpoint more sexier to young people. So then they get Charlie Kirk, who's like in his 20s. They get Candace Owens, who's in her 20s, and then they pay him a bunch of money to go out here and push those Republican talking points and those conservative talking points. Really just trying to just make their money just so they can keep their business going. But that way they can influence the next generation of pundits and consumers and voters to vote in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't realize the whole freedom of thought argument is. Oh, I'm sorry, Monty, go ahead.
Here's where I stop you. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I wanted you to finish your thought. Here's where I'll stop you. I agree with all that. Like, that's what's happening. I don't think Kanye's there, because the thing with Kanye is what he's reaching for is not that. When you look at any of Kanye's arguments, I actually agree with what Kanye is trying to say at every stop, because I've gone back and looked at all of it. And I'm like, I agree with Kanye at everything he's trying to say. Not what he said, but what he's trying to say.
So you might have to break it down for me, because some of these things I don't know what he's trying to say.
Yeah. Like, I can't sign that.
Pick one that you don't understand.
All right. So are we talking about everything, including slavery was a choice, or everything past slavery was being a choice?
Like, and all of them make me react like this. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but you've done the Republican talking point version of it. That's not going to do anything. I know what he meant with slavery was a choice. And
what did he mean? Maybe
what did he mean by that? Yeah, you
have to explain it to me this.
And look, I don't want to be the Kanye whisperer here. I do not support Kanye West.
No, we just ask you what he meant by that statement, though.
What he meant. I'm just clarifying it for anybody in the chat. I'm not the Kanye whisperer. I don't love Kanye. I don't even like Kanye. But I know what he meant. With slavery was a choice, he was trying to say that he feels that as black people, we've been programmed to only think and vote Democrat, because since slavery, that's the party that we think we need to vote for. So it led into his getting off the plantation of voting Democrat. That's what he was trying to say with that. He didn't say it because saying slavery was a choice is a stupid way to say that. Because Kanye's a fucking idiot.
Well, see what I thought he was trying to say.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
Well, just to check on the history though too, is that Republicans are the ones that freed the slaves, and after slavery, and black people used to vote predominantly Republican.
Yes.
Until remember, you had the Southern Democrats were the ones that until the 1960s and 60s and 70s when the parties made that switch. So.
I don't know. I want to add a caveat to that as well. And I always do, especially when I have this conversation with all of my, because I have some friends that are hard right, conservatives, and then we have these conversations on a consistent basis. They always like to remind me that it was the Republican Party that endorsed freeing the slaves, and then what I like to remind them of was that the Republican Party then was the liberal party.
Yeah.
Not the conservative. The Democrats were the conservatives, the Republicans were the liberals. And then around like the early 1900s, like the early 1900s, then the party switched. So then the Republicans became the conservatives and the Democrats became the liberals. That actually had to do a lot with the San Francisco Gold Rush. We can have a conversation about that one day. I've done a tremendous amount of research about that shit. But, so I always like to point that out, so it's like when we get to the whole Democrat v. Republicans, I like to point out that it was the liberals at the time who chose to free the slaves. And it was the conservatives, that was like, nah, we want to keep the slaves. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that the conservatives were Democrats, liberals were the Republicans, and it's switched at, 1900s.
Yeah. And that's the shit that nobody pays attention to. And Kanye keeps throwing that out, that this was a Democratic thing. I'm like, actually, you're proving the point by saying that because, yeah, it was a right-wing thing. But back in that time, Democrats were right-wing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get your shit straight. Don't just say shit somebody told you. And that's what Kanye's doing. But he's framing it as free thought. He's hearing this shit for the first time. Because Kanye is coming from where I came from, where I didn't pay attention to politics. When all this shit's brand new, you want to put it out. And
yeah, Kanye West right now, I think, is the equivalent of like of a child that just found his dad's gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just an incredibly dangerous situation for him to be in because he has so much influence over people. And it's like, even though you might be like, oh yeah, well, don't nobody I know subscribe to that. Everybody feels like, Kanye West really just kind of fucked up. But here's the thing. They're not trying to get Kanye West to sway all black people. They just need him to sway enough black people.
Yep.
So that they don't vote a certain way or that they don't vote at all. You know what I'm saying? And then it just kind of keeps people in power in the position of power that they're already in. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say the Kanye West thing is incredibly dangerous, and it makes me nervous because, like I said, I get into these arguments with people on my timeline. I've never been one of those people to, if I disagree with your belief system, that I'm not gonna block you. I'm not gonna alienate you. Like, I want to talk to you. I want to get to know your perspective. I want to get to understand why you think and feel what you feel. Because me and my friends don't agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, my best friend Daryl Flowers. He thinks Dirty Work is one of the greatest movies of all time. Dirty Work and Dumb and Dumber. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
Daryl, is that a thing? Do we need to do an episode about Dirty Work? Talk to me.
Greatest movie of all time, baby. Greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, it's just like, look, and for me, it's Pulp Fiction and Fight Club. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, well, you don't think how I think, therefore we can't be friends. I'm like, no, man. It's like you like what you like, I like what I like. We just, you know, we talk about it, we keep moving. I want to understand why you feel what you feel. Yeah. You know, and I'm going to treat Kanye West the same way I treat Donald Trump. I'm not going to try to interpret what you meant. Okay. Like you should say what you mean so that way there's no room for interpretation. You know, he's a rapper. He literally rhymes and interprets language. That's his job. So I'm not going to give him
It should be as easy as deciphering an Eminem lyric.
You know, I'm just saying that. Like,
you
look,
see what I did there? You see what I did?
I see what you did.
Yeah.
Look. Bottom line, for me, I think, you know, I'm not going to sit up here and be one of those people that tries to interpret what I think he meant, because even when he said that they should abolish slavery, I was like, yeah, I think I know what he's trying to say, but you know, he doesn't know enough about what the 13th Amendment is. And instead of him being like, you know what, I didn't know as much as I thought, let me go research it. Instead, he tries to double down on it and make you think that he wasn't a dumbass when he said the shit in the first place.
Here's
and
the
then
problem. When he said that, I'm like, bruh, there's a whole documentary already about that. You don't have to phrase it like that to bring attention to it, because all of us saw it. Every black person, when Netflix added 13th, they're like, you need to check out 13th.
Yeah. No, the 13th is powerful stuff.
Yeah.
But I do think I agree with you guys in the sense that I think it's dangerous in the sense that you have somebody who's popular, who has this platform, able to pronounce, you know, when they talk, more people are going to listen, so you're going to catch. But I think he's catching the people who, or like, for instance, when I first came online, I started talking to flat earthers. And you could, if I was sitting here talking to people, that somebody told me that, hey, there are people out there who believe the earth is flat, I'd be like, nah, you crazy. Nah. Hey, there's nobody out there today.
Too.
In today's world.
Yeah.
But think about that person. Think about that person who thinks the earth is flat. He had to be convinced by somebody else. And I'm not thinking these people are the pinnacles of thought. I'm thinking these people are people who are probably already miseducated about some shit and were easily perceived to, oh, you know what? The motherfucking earth is flat, you know? That type of thing. So I'm thinking the Kanye people who are going to be convinced by this are going to be people like the flat earthers. They were going to be flat earthers. They were just in waiting. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, mind you, because now flat earth is big online, more people are joining the flat earth movement. But those are people who already thought the earth was flat. You know what I'm saying? Those aren't people, those are people who are already at that borderline. They were already there anyway. Now it's just they're able to find each other. And I think that's the same thing with Kanye. I do think most people who watch that Kanye's mess, no matter who you are, knows that was, that was what it was. It was fucked up. Mm-hmm. And I think you're talking about mass groups of us, as I think the community knows Kanye don't speak for us. Kanye lives in a mansion with his white family.
Yes.
And that's what Kanye does now. Nobody's being bad or hard on Kanye, but Kanye is living a totally different life than we live in. Mm-hmm. And with that said, yes, he may change some, but you can't tell me it's going to be that big of an effect where it's going to change. Where we're talking about 50% of the community going to start saying, well, you know what, this Kanye is saying the right stuff. There may be the people who are saying he's saying the right stuff on your thread are probably the most vocal people. Like, yeah, we're gonna go out there and say that. But that is not the majority of black people. I think if you took a poll right now, you'd be like in maybe the 90th percentile of people who think Kanye's saying this shit. Have to be the majority. I think you only need like 5 or 10% of those people and to just fuck shit up.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like have you ever met like the Mexicans that vote for Trump?
Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, and they screaming build the wall. They was screaming build the wall.
Yeah.
That's like meeting Diamond and Silk, right?
Me out. Just like, really?
Yeah, but that's
and let me say this real quick to respond to Nate. I want to just give you some perspective. I know 2 or 3 people that are avid flat earthers that are highly intelligent, well-educated people. And I'm like, yo, man, you are too smart to believe this dumb shit. And then and they do, you know what I'm saying? And then like what happens is their ranks grow slowly. You know, it's like basically look, bottom line, I treat like it's just like cancer. If you deal with it when it's small, it's okay. You can get rid of it. It doesn't hurt you. But if you let it collect up over time, that's when that shit kills you. That's when you got to go through chemo. You know that? And that's what I'm not saying that Kanye is a cancer. Is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just that the thought process that he's on. I think the biggest mistake we could make is underestimate the potential threat that he is right now. And at the end of the day, you know, and this is the end of my 2 cents on Kanye West. I think, you know, as far as just him in general, I think all people should say what they mean. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not gonna sit up here like I like to tell my girlfriend all the time. And Monty, I know you subscribe to this. Ace Wonder, I know you in the chat, you subscribe to this too. I'm not a mind reader, so don't make me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Say what you mean, and I'm gonna take you at that. You know what I'm saying? Kanye West, I think, is having a mental breakdown on the world stage.
Yes.
He needs mental help, not a microphone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He needs to stay the fuck away from Candace Owens. Kim, Candace Owens is trying to take your man. Get in there.
Yeah. You know, and she gonna hit him with that black girl magic, so you gotta be careful.
Like, get in there, do something.
She already got him off. She already got him off. You know, one thing about that thing too about Kanye is his passcode was 0000. It was 5 zeros.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit.
Did you see that on Saturday Night Live when they made fun of it?
Yeah, I saw when they made fun of it, but I went back and watched it. He did press this shit 5 times. I was like, oh shit, he's fucking all zeros.
I saw it too, and I wanted to put the Saturday Night Live stuff in the Kanye West video, but I'm like, no, I don't have room. He said so much shit that I have to. I'm like, you're tasting a fine wine. That's what the draw became. I was like, fine wine, Saturday Night Live.
when he said the shit about, you know, like in a parallel universe, I am Larry Hoover. I was like, what?
Y'all talking. Y'all saying this is the guy that's going to convince the community to go to conservatism.
He can because he's done it before. And look,
I'm
gonna stop because we can do this all night, and we've hit the 2-hour mark. So Kanye West, is he in the sunken place or not?
Yeah.
And
then I think of all the people that we named today, he's like all the other people are like kind of like voluntarily there for money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not Jesse Lee Peterson, but like Kanye is there like on some real like I just want to just like somebody hit him with like some flash photography so we can wake him up.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Let's be honest. Kanye is ill. He doesn't have the requisite intent to be there. He just mentally is incapable of really like we can't hold him responsible for this shit. You know what I mean?
Shit, I'm holding him all the way responsible for it. Like, you know how when a motherfucker is crazy and they be like, and then he kill a bunch of people and they be like, don't give him the death penalty because he crazy. I'm like, fuck it, put him in an electric chair. Tell him it's a ride at Six Flags. Y'all crazy.
Yes,
I'm not giving no crazy person a pass. Like, you know, a crazy person could do just as much damage. All right,
not a pass, but you know, there has to be some sympathy. Like, if you know somebody's mentally ill or capable, gotta be.
I sympathize that he got a problem. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he still do damage when he get behind that big ass truck.
But at the end of the day, I sympathize with him. But he killed my grandmama. So we'll go with that. But yeah, that's where Kanye is. He belongs in there. And I won't play the song this time. I saw some awesome comments that have passed and gone, but I
shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to Black Ice Bell. Shout out to Divine. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Skill, Daryl, Keith, the man on the streets, Tish. I don't see you in there, Tish, right now. Who else? Everybody that was in the thread. Spit Raw.
Black Ice is in there.
Yeah. That's the homie right there. We gonna get him on the show because he's super opinionated.
Yeah,
and he like to talk shit about the Saints all the time. So we could definitely get him on.
I want to argue with Black Ice because I keep seeing him and I'm like, oh, Black Ice, let's do this. Come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you and him will have a blast, bro. Y'all have fun. But
look, we can be friends too.
Yeah, it's man. So anyway, I feel like this was a good show. I feel like I was a little nervous about how the show was gonna go, but I feel like
look,
it was all right.
I want to go before we close. This was a tough show for Hannibal and Monty because we came from Monty and the Mongoose's shit show where one of our rules was to always stay away from politics.
Yeah.
This is our first time even getting close to politics. Like, we're talking about black people shit. Sunken Place, that's black people shit.
Yeah.
That's the shit that three niggas get in a room and talk about together. Like, if that person in the middle was anybody but Nate, if it was a white woman, we can't talk Sunken Place. It's got to be three niggas talking about it. So,
yeah.
But that softened it for me. So that's where we're coming from, and I think it worked.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. So
my day job may or may not fire me if they see this video. So we'll see. Well, that might be in the next episode of What's Eating Hannibal.
That just means you'll be driving. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, right. That's all. We're doing some other shit. Whatever.
Look, I'm gonna keep the shit going. We're gonna make it happen. And also, we're on the carb for the next episode. Next episode is not this. Next episode, we're breaking down cartoons. Top 5 favorite cartoons.
Yeah, so we're gonna do 2 lists. We're gonna do like our top 5 animated adult animated shows, primetime animated shows, and favorite 5 animated primetime animated shows. So we'll be talking Simpsons, South Park, Family Guy, Boondocks, Archer.
I thought you guys were going to be doing like the 90s shows, like Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, shit like that.
No, we're doing next
come up.
Is the primetime animated? Oh wait, are you opening it up to all cartoons? How do you want to do this?
I'm opening it up to everything, anything animated. I want all animated shows. Like, let's broaden it because we got a guy coming on that is a local New Orleans artist who loves animation, and we always talk shit about comics and animation. So let's just dive in. I know I just made your life more complicated, Hannibal.
No, you didn't, because my list isn't going to change. The only thing that happened is now I just got to replace something out with DuckTales. That's it.
All right. Well, there we go.
DuckTales is great. DuckTales is fantastic.
And look, Nate, if you ever want in on a show like that, let me know.
Oh, definitely.
You've been amazing on this show. I want you back.
Yeah, man, Nate, I appreciate having you on the show. 1/3 of the Black Heathens. One of the things I love about it is that you kind of played the equalizer on the show, so that way you kind of gave a little bit of balance for me and Monty. Since this is our first time, going politics. We got other things to talk about. It's like we'll get on the horn and we'll talk about we'll talk politics all day, and it's just like this is the first show we actually talked about it on the air. And even though this show was an easy one to do because it's just a bunch of black people that make you shake your head like, come on, man.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But yes, if you're up for it, please come back. And your logo looks good on our show.
Oh, thank you. Because you did them, right?
Yeah, I was like, you need to introduce me to your logo designer. Because that shit looks good. Fuck. Both of them. I see your icon from 3 Black Heathens. That looks good, too. Like,
that's
whoever
right.
did that, introduce me. Like, we might need him on the 3 Black Heathens show. Or 3 Black Heathens. Fuck. Oh, I'm mixing up shows. Fuck. All right. That being said, great show. Thank you for being on, Nate and Hannibal. it has been amazing. And wait, hang on. I gotta. I'm never ready for it. Are we all done? Does anybody have anything else to say?
No, that was it. That was a good show. I want, like I said, if anybody is in the vicinity of Kanye West, hit the brother with some flash photography and see if that don't wake him up.
All right.
Amen to that.
Right.
Well, that being said, let's roll into the ending with this.
This was a shit show.
Y'all finished?